What if the life you dream about is closer than you think? What if the gap between where you are today and where you want to be is not determined by talent, luck, money, or powerful connections, but by the small choices you make every single day? Too many people spend their lives waiting. They wait for the perfect opportunity, the right moment, more confidence, or someone else to believe in them first. Yet, while they wait, time quietly moves forward. The truth is that success rarely belongs to the luckiest people. It belongs to those who choose a direction and keep moving, even when the path is uncertain. Look closely at the people who achieve meaningful goals. They are not always the smartest, strongest, or most gifted. Often, they are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They kept going when progress was slow, kept believing when doubts surrounded them, and kept trying when failure seemed unavoidable. Your future is not being shaped by one big decision. It is being created by the habits, choices, and beliefs you practice every day. The best part is that you can begin changing your future right now. Step 1. Know what you really want. One of the biggest reasons people never achieve the life they dream about is surprisingly simple. They never decide exactly what they want. They spend years chasing vague ideas like, I want to be successful, I want to be happy, or I want a better life. But those are only wishes, not directions. And without direction, even the hardest effort can lead nowhere. Imagine stepping into a taxi and telling the driver, "Take me somewhere good." The driver would have no idea where to go. Life works the same way. If you don't know where you're headed, how will you ever know if you're making progress? The truth is that clarity is powerful. The moment you become clear about what you truly want, your decisions begin to change. Suddenly, opportunities become easier to recognize. Distractions become easier to avoid. Your path starts to reveal itself. But gaining clarity requires honesty. It requires asking yourself questions that many people avoid. What kind of life would make you feel fulfilled? What kind of work gives you energy instead of draining it? Who are the people you want beside you on your journey? What memories do you want to create before your time runs out? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Too many people build their lives around expectations. They chase careers to impress others. They pursue goals that look good on social media. They follow paths chosen by friends, family, or society. Yet, even when they achieve those goals, they often feel empty inside because they were living someone else's dream. Real fulfillment comes from pursuing what truly matters to you. Your life is your story, and no one else can write it for you. The clearer your vision becomes, the stronger your purpose grows. And when you know exactly what you want, every step forward becomes more meaningful because you are no longer wandering. You are moving toward a destination that belongs to you. Step 2. Accept responsibility for your life. This may be one of the most difficult truths you will ever face, but it is also one of the most empowering. Life is not always fair. Some people are born into opportunities that others never receive. Some face obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. Some carry emotional wounds, financial struggles, or personal battles that nobody else can see. It is easy to look at your circumstances and feel defeated. It is easy to point to the things that have gone wrong and believe they are the reason you cannot move forward. But there is a powerful truth that can completely change the direction of your life. Responsibility creates power, while blame creates weakness. When you blame your past, your family, your age, your boss, the economy, or your circumstances for everything that happens, you unknowingly hand over control of your future. You begin to believe that someone else holds the key to your success. And when that happens, you stop looking for solutions because you are focused on excuses. But the moment you take responsibility, everything begins to change. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do about it?" You stop saying, "This is impossible," and start searching for one small step that can move you forward. Taking responsibility does not mean pretending life is easy. It does not mean blaming yourself for every hardship or mistake. It simply means accepting ownership of your response. You may not control what happened yesterday, but you can control what you do today. You may not be able to change your past, but you can influence your future. That realization is incredibly powerful. The people who transform their lives are not always the people with the fewest problems. They are the people who decide that their problems will not define them. The moment you take ownership of your choices, your actions, your attitude, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the author of your future. And that is where real change begins. Step 3. Believe you deserve more. One of the biggest obstacles standing between people and the life they want is not a lack of talent, money, or opportunity. It is a lack of belief in themselves. Many people quietly sabotage their own dreams because, deep down, they have convinced themselves that success belongs to someone else. They carry invisible stories that follow them everywhere. Stories that whisper, "I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not talented enough." Or, "I always fail." Over time, these thoughts become so familiar that they stop feeling like opinions and start feeling like facts. They become invisible cages that limit what people believe is possible. But take a moment and ask yourself an important question. Who decided these limits? Who determined what you are capable of becoming? In many cases, the answer is nobody. These beliefs were built from past disappointments, criticism, fear, or comparison. Yet they are often nothing more than stories that have been repeated for so long that they feel true. The reality is that every successful person you admire has faced doubt. They have questioned themselves. They have felt fear. They have heard voices telling them they were not good enough. The difference is not that they were fearless. The difference is that they refused to let fear make their decisions. You do not need to wake up tomorrow with unlimited confidence. You do not need to believe that everything will be easy. You only need enough belief to take the next step. One small step forward can begin changing the way you see yourself. Then another step, and another. Confidence is not something you wait for before you act. Confidence is something you build by acting despite your doubts. The moment you start believing that your dreams matter, that your goals are worth pursuing, and that you are capable of growth, everything begins to change. You stop seeing obstacles as proof that you should quit and start seeing them as proof that you are growing. Believe this: you are capable of more than your fears want you to believe, and your future begins the moment you decide to believe it too. Step 4. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. How many dreams have been delayed by one simple word, someday? For years, people tell themselves that they will start when the timing is right. Someday, they will have more money. Someday, they will have more time. Someday, they will feel confident enough. Someday, they will finally take that first step toward the life they want. But there is a hidden danger in that word. Someday often becomes next year. Next year becomes later. And later quietly becomes never. Before they realize it, years have passed, and the dream that once excited them remains exactly where it started, in their imagination. The truth is that the perfect moment does not exist. Life will never be completely organized. There will always be unexpected challenges, unanswered questions, and reasons to wait. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be fear. If you decide to wait until everything feels comfortable and secure, you may spend your entire life standing still. The people who achieve meaningful goals are not people who have no fear. They feel the same doubts and worries that everyone else feels. The difference is that they refuse to let fear make their decisions. They choose to move forward, even when they do not have all the answers. Think about every great accomplishment, every successful business, every inspiring story, every life-changing achievement. Everyone began with someone taking a step before they felt completely ready. Action came first. Confidence came later. That is how growth works. You do not gain confidence by waiting. You gain confidence by doing. Every small action creates momentum. Momentum creates belief, and belief creates results. So stop asking yourself when the perfect time will arrive. Instead, ask yourself what small step you can take today. It does not have to be a giant leap. It only needs to move you forward. Your future will not be shaped by what you plan to do someday. It will be shaped by what you choose to do right now. The life you want begins with a single step, and that step can start today. Step 5. Learn to embrace failure. Failure is something most people fear, avoid, and desperately try to escape. It hurts to fall short of a goal. It hurts to be rejected, to make mistakes, or to watch something you worked hard for fall apart. In those moments, it is easy to feel discouraged and wonder if you are simply not good enough. But what if failure is not the enemy you think it is? What if failure is actually one of life's greatest teachers? Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble, fall, and lose their balance countless times. Yet, nobody watches them fall and says, "Maybe walking just isn't for you." We understand that falling is a natural part of learning. We celebrate their effort because we know that every fall brings them closer to their first successful step. But as adults, we often forget this lesson. We experience one setback, one rejection, or one disappointment, and suddenly we start questioning our abilities. We begin treating mistakes as evidence that we should quit, rather than proof that we are learning. The truth is that every failure carries a lesson. Every setback contains valuable information. Every mistake reveals something that can help you improve. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid failure. They are the ones who learn from it, adapt, and keep moving forward. They understand that failure is not a dead end. It is a detour that teaches them a better way. The next time life knocks you down, resist the urge to ask, "Why me?" Instead, ask a different question. What is this experience trying to teach me? That single question can change everything. It shifts your focus from frustration to growth, from defeat to possibility. Remember, failure does not define your future. Quitting does. Every setback you survive makes you wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the success ahead. Embrace the lesson, trust the process, and keep taking the next step forward. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Step 6. Build discipline instead of relying on motivation. Motivation is a wonderful feeling. It can make you feel energized, inspired, and ready to conquer the world. You watch a powerful video, listen to an inspiring speech, or read a life-changing book, and suddenly you feel unstoppable. In that moment, your goals seem closer than ever. You promise yourself that this time will be different. This time, you will stay committed. But then, reality arrives. The excitement fades. Daily responsibilities return. Challenges appear. The energy that once felt so strong begins to disappear. And many people slowly drift back to their old habits. Not because they lack potential, but because they were depending on motivation to carry them forward. The problem with motivation is that it is temporary. Some days it is there, and some days it is not. Discipline, however, is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel. Discipline shows up anyway. It gets out of bed when the alarm rings. It works when nobody is watching. It keeps going long after the excitement has faded. Discipline understands that success is not built on occasional bursts of effort. It is built on consistency. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not motivated every single day. They simply create systems that support their goals. They develop routines. They build habits. They understand that small actions repeated consistently over time produce remarkable outcomes. One workout will not transform your body. One chapter will not make you an expert. One productive day will not completely change your life. But when those actions are repeated day after day, week after week, and year after year, they create powerful transformation. Never underestimate the power of consistency. Great achievements are rarely the result of one dramatic moment. They are the result of ordinary actions performed with extraordinary commitment. When motivation disappears, discipline takes over. And when discipline becomes a habit, success becomes much more likely. The future you want is not created by what you do occasionally. It is created by what you do consistently. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and let discipline carry you where motivation cannot. Step 7. Protect your mind. Your mind is one of the most valuable assets you will ever possess. It shapes how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately, the kind of life you create. Yet, many people protect their money, possessions, and reputation more carefully than they protect their thoughts. They allow negativity, fear, criticism, and doubt to enter their minds every day. without realizing the impact these influences can have. But just like a garden, your mind grows whatever you consistently plant within it. Imagine spending months planting weeds and then feeling disappointed when flowers fail to appear. That would make no sense. Yet, many people do something similar with their thoughts. They constantly consume negative news, listen to discouraging voices, focus on worst-case scenarios, and replay their failures over and over again. Then they wonder why they struggle to feel hopeful, motivated, or confident. The truth is that your thoughts shape your reality. What you repeatedly focus on begins to influence your beliefs, your decisions, and your actions. This is why it is so important to pay attention to what enters your mind each day. Pay attention to what you watch, what you read, and who you spend time with. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow rather than people who constantly pull you down. Seek snorts out ideas that inspire possibility instead of fear. Fill your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and encouragement. The more positive and empowering thoughts you feed your mind, the stronger and more resilient you become. Remember, your future is being built long before anyone else can see it. It begins in your thoughts. The dreams you achieve, the goals you pursue, and the person you become are all influenced by what you allow to take root in your mind. Protect it carefully. Guard it from negativity. Feed it with purpose, because the quality of your thoughts will eventually become the quality of your life. And the future you create depends on what you choose to focus on today. Step 8. Develop patience. One of the greatest challenges in today's world is learning how to be patient. We live in a time when almost everything is available instantly. We can send messages in seconds, stream entertainment whenever we want, and have products delivered to our doors within days or even hours. Because we are surrounded by instant results, it is easy to expect the same speed from our goals and dreams. We want success now. We want progress now. We want our efforts to pay off immediately. But life does not work that way. The most meaningful achievements often require far more time than we expect. Think about a tree. No matter how much you water it today, it will not grow into a giant oak by tomorrow morning. A masterpiece is not painted in a single day. A strong relationship is not built in a week, and a meaningful life is not created overnight. The greatest accomplishments are usually the result of small actions repeated consistently over long periods of time. Yet, many people quit too soon because they mistake slow progress for no progress. The truth is that growth is often happening long before you can see it. Just as roots grow deep underground before a tree breaks through the surface, your efforts are often creating results beneath the surface of your life. Every lesson you learn, every challenge you overcome, and every step you take is preparing you for future success. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, something is happening. Patience is not about doing nothing. Patience is about continuing to work while trusting the process. It is about believing that your efforts matter, even when the rewards have not yet appeared. The people who achieve extraordinary things are often the ones who simply stay committed longer than everyone else. So keep learning, keep growing, keep showing up. Your breakthrough may not arrive today, but every step you take is bringing it closer. Trust the journey, trust your growth, and remember that the strongest roots are built before the tallest trees are seen. Step 9. Become comfortable being uncomfortable. If there is one place where growth loves to hide, it is just beyond your comfort zone. Unfortunately, that is also the place most people spend their lives trying to avoid. We naturally seek comfort, safety, and familiarity. We prefer routines we already know, situations we can predict, and choices that feel easy. But the life you dream about rarely exists inside those comfortable boundaries. More often than not, everything you want is waiting on the other side of discomfort. Think about it. If you want greater confidence, you may need to have conversations that make you nervous. If you want success, you may need to work harder than you ever have before. If you want stronger relationships, you may need to speak difficult truths and become vulnerable. If you want a better future, you may need to leave behind old habits, old beliefs, and sometimes even old environments. None of these things feel comfortable, yet they are often the very experiences that create the greatest growth. The problem is that many people mistake discomfort for a sign that they should stop. They feel fear and assume they are on the wrong path. They encounter challenges and believe they are not capable. But what if discomfort is not a warning sign? What if it is actually evidence that you are growing? Every challenge you overcome expands your abilities. Every fear you face weakens its control over you. Every risk you take teaches you lessons that comfort never could. The most remarkable transformations happen when people stop running from discomfort and start walking through it. They learn that fear is not always something to avoid. It is often something to face. Growth requires courage, and courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, do not immediately turn back. Pause and ask yourself whether this discomfort is leading you toward the person you want to become. Because the road to growth is rarely easy, but it is often worth every step. On the other side of that discomfort may be the confidence, success, and future you have been searching for all along. Step 10. Never let other people's opinions define you. One of the most exhausting ways to live is constantly seeking approval from other people. Many individuals spend years trying to make everyone happy, hoping that if they say the right things, make the right choices, and meet everyone's expectations, they will finally feel accepted. But there is a painful truth that many discover too late. No matter what you do, you will never please everyone. Some people will criticize you. Some will misunderstand your intentions. Some will doubt your abilities. And some will judge you without ever knowing your story. That is not a sign that you are failing. It is simply part of being human. The danger comes when you allow those opinions to become more important than your own dreams. When every decision is based on what others might think, you slowly lose touch with who you truly are. You stop pursuing what excites you and start chasing what gains approval. Over time, you may find yourself living a life that looks successful from the outside, but feels empty on the inside because it was built around other people's expectations instead of your own purpose. It is important to remember that people often judge through the lens of their own experiences, fears, and limitations. Someone who has never taken a risk may tell you your dream is impossible. Someone who gave up on their goals may discourage you from pursuing yours. Their opinions may reflect their reality, but they do not have to define yours. Listen to constructive feedback. Learn from wise advice. Stay open to growth, but never allow someone else's doubts to become the boundaries of your future. The life you truly want will require courage. It will require making decisions that not everyone understands. It may require walking a path that others question. But every meaningful achievement in history began with someone who was willing to move forward without universal approval. Trust your vision. Trust your growth. Trust the journey you are creating, because your future should be shaped by your values, your purpose, and your dreams, not by the opinions of people who are not living your life. Step 11. Stay focused on progress. One of the fastest ways to lose motivation is to compare your journey to someone else's. In today's world, that temptation is everywhere. Open social media for just a few minutes, and you will see people celebrating achievements, sharing success stories, posting exciting moments, and showcasing the best parts of their lives. Before long, you may begin to wonder why your own progress feels so slow. You may start questioning whether you are falling behind. You may even feel like everyone else is moving forward while you remain stuck in the same place. But what you are seeing is not the complete picture. You are seeing highlights, not the whole story. Behind every success story are struggles that rarely make it onto a screen. There are failures, setbacks, disappointments, sleepless nights, and years of hard work that most people never see. Every person you admire has faced obstacles and moments of doubt. The difference is that their difficult chapters are often hidden while their victories are visible. When you compare your everyday reality to someone else's highlight reel, you create an unfair comparison that can rob you of confidence and joy. Instead of asking whether you are doing better than someone else, ask a more important question. Are you doing better than you were yesterday? That is the comparison that truly matters. Growth is not a competition against other people. It is a commitment to becoming a better version of yourself. Maybe your progress feels small. Maybe you are only taking one step at a time. But small progress is still progress. Every lesson learned, every habit improved, and every challenge overcome is evidence that you are moving forward. Celebrate those victories, no matter how small they seem. Celebrate your effort. Celebrate your persistence. Celebrate the fact that you are still trying when many people would have given up. Great achievements are rarely built in a single moment. They are built through countless small victories that accumulate over time. Stay focused on your own path. Trust your growth. And remember that the person you are becoming matters far more than the person you are comparing yourself to. Step 12. Keep going longer than most people. If there is one lesson that separates dreamers from achievers, it is this: keep going. Success is often not about being the smartest person in the room, the most talented, or the most fortunate. More often, success belongs to the people who simply refuse to quit. They stay committed when others become discouraged. They continue moving forward when progress feels slow. They remain in the game long enough for their efforts to finally pay off. Many dreams do not fail because they are impossible. They fail because people give up too soon. The writer quits before finishing the book that could have changed lives. The entrepreneur gives up just before the business begins to gain momentum. The student loses faith before reaching mastery. The dreamer abandons the journey before seeing the results they have been working toward. What makes this so heartbreaking is that many breakthroughs happen just beyond the point where most people decide to stop. Persistence is powerful because every day of effort builds on the days that came before it. Every lesson you learn makes you a little wiser. Every challenge you overcome makes you a little stronger. Every setback you survive increases your resilience. These small gains may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they compound into something extraordinary. Just as a single drop of water can eventually shape stone, consistent effort can transform your future. The truth is that you do not need to be perfect to succeed. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need extraordinary talent or endless confidence. What you need is the willingness to keep taking the next step. Some days that step will be large. Other days it will be incredibly small. But as long as you continue moving forward, you are making progress. So when life becomes difficult, remember this. Success may be closer than it appears. Keep learning, keep growing, keep believing, keep trying again and again and again. Because the people who achieve remarkable things are often the ones who simply stayed on the path longer than everyone else. Conclusion. The life you want is built one day at a time. The life you dream about will not appear overnight. It will not arrive because of luck, perfect timing, or someone else deciding to give you an opportunity. It will be built one decision at a time. It will be built through discipline when motivation fades, through courage when fear appears, and through persistence when the journey becomes difficult. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Other days, you will question everything. There will be moments when progress seems obvious and moments when it feels like nothing is changing. But do not let those difficult days convince you to give up on the future you deserve. Remember, every successful person you admire was once a beginner. Every expert was once inexperienced. Every achievement, no matter how impressive, started as a simple idea in someone's mind. The difference is that they kept moving forward even when the outcome was uncertain. They chose growth over comfort, action over excuses, and determination over surrender. As you finish this journey, remember that you already have more potential than you realize. You already possess the ability to take the next step. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need the courage to begin and the commitment to continue. The question is not whether your dreams are possible. The question is whether you are willing to keep moving toward them, one day at a time. Because the life you want is not waiting for perfect conditions. It is waiting for a decision, and that decision can start right now.